Welcome to the IslandStats.com football show, your weekly dose of all the action from Bermuda's top football leagues. We bring you in-depth coverage of the Premier and First Divisions, results, highlights, analysis, and exclusive interviews. We also keep you up to date with the latest news and developments from the Bermuda Football Association. Stay tuned for the IslandStats.com football show, your one-stop shop for everything you need to know about the beautiful game in Bermuda. Now let's join the IslandStats.com football show team. And good evening and welcome to this edition of the IslandStats.com football show. I'm your host, Earl Baisden. Joining me is Andrew Griffith, and also attempting to join us right now is another co-host in Garrett Punchy Dill. He's having a bit of technical problems, but he should be hopefully joining us momentarily. But obviously today is the day we talk about the final match of the season with the FA Cup, Challenge Cup, taking place yesterday at the Philadelphia Southfield Stadium at the National Sports Center, where the North Village Rams defeated the Devonshire Cougars by a score of 2-0 to end the season on a high. Much turned around from what happened at the end of last season. I guess that was in the back of plenty of people's minds. Just want to let everyone know that Calvin Patches Dill will be joining us at the bottom of the hour, hopefully with a few players from the North Village Rams to talk about their season, and you will get to know what's in the workings for the off season and heading into the 2025-2026 season. But Griff, you were at the stadium yesterday. Give us a brief of how you felt the game went.
Well, you know what? The game itself, it really surprised me because I thought these were like two pretty fast teams, and we would get a lot of technical skill and it would be free flowing, a lot of intricate moves, but it was none of that. It was pretty scrappy, and maybe it's the occasion. Players were tighter. I don't know, but it wasn't that like high level, fast paced chess match that I expected it to be. A scrappy game. Was a lot of mistakes in the beginning, ball turned over, but I guess as they settled and dug in, it became more like a tug of war with like neither team having much of an advantage over the other. Like even the early goal that Village got, it was like against the run of the play, and it surprised everybody. It came out of nothing. So in that regard, the game surprised me. And I actually thought that Cougars were the more informed team. Although Village won the league, I think over the second half of the season, Cougars were firing. They got a lot of players back from injury, and I thought that they would dominate possession more than they did.
Yeah. And obviously, with North Village up 1-0 and then Cougars missing the penalty, did that kind of set them back quite a bit?
No, I think they kept pushing ahead. I think it gave them a bit of confidence to know that they were still creating chances and getting there. But I think the penalty, everybody, well, I can't say everybody, I guess I'm biased. It was surprising that the penalty was awarded. So people feel that it was just reward, that it was missed, I guess. So that, but it didn't.
You say that we're in red. You say that we're in red.
Yes, yeah. So I have to say with a grain of salt. So I think the Cougars players didn't seem like the hairs got gone. They were emboldened and said, okay, therefore you take it, we can get something out of this. And they kept attacking and attacking and attacking. It just never came. I guess it's one of those days if you're a Cougars fan.
Yeah. Now, you say many would have expected a different type of game, two fast-paced teams. Cougars been free scoring to go to the stadium and not score. That was a big surprise. With the way they ended the regular season in the league, averaging 2 and 3 goals a game. You would have penned them in for at least 1 or 2 on the day.
Yep, definitely. And I also thought because Village lost Taryn Frey due to cricket. He's an older player. Is not as fast as he used to be, but he's steady in his sense of defense. I thought that would be something that would give Cougars an advantage, but it turned out it didn't. So they didn't really miss Frey.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that when you look at it, all sorts of different scenarios because Kwame would have had to come up with a game plan of how he wanted to attack. Patches would have had to come up with a game plan of how he wanted to attack, and then neutralize different players. But then, if one of those links to the chain is not really pulling its weight, it then creates a problem, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think there was a bit of that because I think that played out in the substitutes. There were not everybody was having a good game, and the coaches adjusted the substitutes at halftime and made subs, and it seemed to stabilize things. So I guess Patrick could speak to that when he comes on, but that it seemed like the subs played an integral part in the game as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you look at it, if you look at everything that's going on through the season, lack of quality in the final third yesterday. Cougars looked strong between both boxes, but couldn't do enough, inside either box. Yeah, well, that's generally the case when when a team trying to score and so many different things are happening. You know, and then again, the other thing is some days it's just not your day. No matter what you try, it just doesn't fall for you.
And to be honest, most of the Village fans didn't think that first goal would stand up the way that Cougars were attacking. Like, oh, you definitely need a second goal, definitely. And everybody kept expecting Cougars to score at some point. So when the second goal came, people were like, whew. And you could see it in the Village players where they celebrated that second goal because they knew, okay, this is it. We've done it. But up until that point, they were worried because Cougars always looked dangerous.
Yeah. If you personally had to pick a player, and when Punchy joins us, I'm going to ask him the same question. If you had to pick a player from either team, who was the standout player?
That's a difficult question.
It was that tough?
Yeah, I was like, as a senior player, I think Jonte holds the ball up and tried to keep it and caused a lot of problems. I lean towards him. He was like you would expect him to have more shots, but his presence I think was good for the team.
Right.
I'll be interested in what Patches says on that one, but I did. That was a good question.
Yeah, it's so funny because Jonte and Patches are back-to-back winners of the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Patches, the assistant coach in St. George's last year, coached this year for the North Village, and Jonte scored that hat trick last year to lead St. George's over North Village. But they turn around and come back to the same venue, this time in the red and white, and end up on the winning side. Yeah, we'll talk more about once Patches and the players come on, because obviously there's been a change in the camp now. You've watched Village over the years, from the outside looking in. Now that you had a little time to evaluate the season, what do you think has changed there?
I think what Patches has said when he came in, because he came in after the season started. He said and I would have to agree to what he said when he came on the show before. He said he just tried to get them to enjoy the football, relax, like don't be afraid to mess up. Just like this is your time to it's a hobby and you need to enjoy it. Play your football and we'll try to all enjoy it together. And it seems they played more carefree. I think that might be too strong of a word, but it had a different feel to it. I can't quite put he'll probably be able to articulate it better, but what he said he tried to do, it looks like he achieved.
Now, one thing, North Village has a very strong support, and very vocal. What are some of the things in amongst the people that you kind of congregate with at a game? What's been their kind of take on the season?
Oh yeah, I think it's been if you win 2 trophies, you can't say that it hasn't been a decent season. But overall, I guess with the camaraderie and the togetherness of the team. But again, like when you have a successful team, that it shouldn't be any bickering, but they seem close knit and ready to fight for each other. So this is it seems like a good group.
Yeah. Just to change the angle just a little bit, the day before and earlier that day, North Village won the under 18 knockout title, and the day before they picked up the another youth title. So the program's looking pretty strong.
And again, I think we discussed that before on the show. There are a lot of offshoot academies which are good for development of football, and you can do different things. But I think if a club is to sustain itself, you have to develop your own junior program so that you have continuity leading into your senior team.
Mm-hmm.
And even after that, like if you to masters and other stuff, so that is as if the club is a community club, so you embrace the community and the members, they grow with you together. So like I think that's necessary. Whereas you may get like the academies, they may have you from when you're 5 to 12 or 5 to 16 or 12 your high school years, 12 to 17, and then it's not to say it's focused more on I guess football development, sports, rather than the totality of the community sort of vibe.
Well, what we're going to do, we're going to take a commercial break. Hopefully, Punchy has sorted out his technical issues, and he could join us. But we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more about what your opinion is that North Village need to repeat next season in player-wise and position-wise. Have a think of that. We'll be right back.
Putting down a weapon.
You seeing this? Cooking should be simple, and with Wesson it is. Whether you're frying, baking, or sautéing, Wesson's 100% pure canola, corn, and vegetable oils bring out the best in every dish. With no preservatives and zero trans fats, Wesson gives you a pure, delicious way to cook for your family. Find Wesson oils today at Lindo's, because great meals start with great ingredients. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
Beneath the cloud blue sky, where the ocean meets the land, and the long tails fly in Bermuda. Our hearts belong to this beautiful island. As an island, we are strong, proudly Bermudian. In every single way, from the sunrise to the sunset, and every single day for over 135 years. It's been clear, it's silence, proudly Bermudian. Bringing us near. Cause we are proudly Bermudian. Digicel is proudly Bermudian. Digicel is proudly Bermudian.
And welcome back. Well, yeah, Punchy will be joining us hopefully shortly. Griff, I asked you to think about what Village would need as far as position-wise and player-wise if they want to repeat from us outside looking in standpoint. Give us your assessment of what positions need to be strengthened, and what players do you think they can get their hands on?
So yeah, you're going a little too deep. I thought you were asking what do they need to do to repeat, but players, you can't do anything without players. So I'm not like at this stage. I'm not even sure the players know who's going to leave or who wants to stay, because in any team that anywhere in any league, there's going to be some players that think they should be playing more, some players that think, oh, I'm playing out of position, I want to play in my favorite position, and so it's going to be those differences. Some players may leave for myriad of reasons. Somebody may, I don't know, move from Taunton to St. George and say, hey, I'm not coming training all the way in Taunton. It could be a lot of things why players leave, but I think the key thing is making sure that the management and the coaching is in place. It seems like Patches and Jamaica are there for a while, because if that changes, then everything changes. I think to some degree, Village were lucky that Patches came back this year, because changing coaches during the season normally is disaster. So having him for the postseason should bode well. But even looking at like a Dandytown with Kyle coming in late,
Right.
Dandytown has a very good team, but it was that transition. I think Dandytown should be much stronger next year with Kyle in place for the full year. So it's everything like that. Like all the other teams will be just as strong next year. PHC should be strong. Like this is an off year for them. I think they'll come back firing. They have a good junior program, so other young players could be coming through. Paget, Everson Coles. You look at St. George's. St. George's changed coaches at the end of last year, and look at it's not that easy doing it. So I think coaching is key. If they player retention, and always at this time of the year, you will get older players saying, "Hey, you know what? We won the league. This is my last season. I'm going out on a high." So that remains to be seen, which players decide to hang up their boots. And
Right.
there's senior players, so you need other players to step up. Can they step up? And so at the same time, when that void is created, do you have younger players from the junior program that's ready to make their debut into Premier? So over the years, that's been a pipeline as well. You look at Amir Dale. He then jumped in when he was like 16, 17, same Diane Swan.
Right.
But those players are now overseas. So now do the coaches feel that there are other like 16, 17-year-olds that are ready to play Premier? That's going to play a part. Not sure, but I think one other big factor that will change for next year is this year, North Village didn't have use of the field until late because the lights were completed.
Right.
Now the lights are completed, it's going to be more night. It's one more night field for BFA to use. So there will be more games there.
Right.
So then, which then leads to more effort is going to have to be spent on making the field last for the year. How does the field set up to it? Will the playing surface be the same with additional use? And I think that may require more money and funding to make sure that the field's okay. And then we were told that the current lights are so efficient that it costs less to burn them than the old lights that they had. So, but we still have to get through that. If it's more games, get through the expense of seeing how does the club pay for the additional electricity and lighting. So those are all things that's going to factor into the upcoming year.
Sure. One of the things if just outside of the gate on the field side, could have utilized a light or two out there where the team could have trained to save the actual playing field itself, because as we know, the grounds are usually cut so close that 2 rainy weekends and it's brown for the remainder of the season, where if grass is left on it, then you have an opportunity to have something that's going to grip. But that's something that the club has to look at as well, and realize that a little more growth of turf would allow the field to last a little longer.
But it's always been the policy. I think after Christmas, when we get more rain, they don't even train in the go areas because they get ripped up. So during the week when trains, you can't walk in it. A lot of times they rope it off just to see if they can get it to last longer. But
the key is, because I've been down there a few times. when the field's being cut, and sometimes it's just cutting dust. Why you cutting it? Why let the grass grow so you have something to grip onto. You're not running on just a hard surface kind of thing. If you look around at the grounds that have grass areas, that is because the grass is thicker in those areas, and basically it lasts a lot longer. So it's just a matter of allowing it to grow, and then just take the top off, kind of thing. You're not playing on a golf course; you're playing on a football field.
You could have a show and invite 10 groundsmen on it, and you would get 10 different opinions and a heated argument for like a 3-hour show. So, but everybody has an idea on.
Trust me, I've been around it. I've been around it and understand it. I'm cutting. Most of them, they won't admit it. I'm cutting the grass. They don't have to come back and cut it again very soon. And the other argument is, you want a plush field, but if you go to any ground or any major ground anywhere in the world, you step up onto the field, the thickness of the grass is high, so unless you see that and understand what they're playing on, you're going to keep cutting it because you want it to look like a golf course, because that's what you think it's good. You want the ball to reel right. The ball's going to reel right on grass anyway.
So you recall when the village first started using the field, I think it was really end of January, and we all remarked, it's very nice. It's plush for this time of year. Mm-hmm. But if you go down there right now, it's not the same. It's bumpy and patchy. So that's only after like 2 months.
Can you tell there's grass on there?
In most areas.
and then go have a look at the lawnmower and see where that is. Because that's the issue.
But so what's the answer in Bermuda? Is it all astroturf, or is it just
no? What I'm saying is this. Let the grass grow, let it get thick, and then just keep taking the top off. Eventually the grass is gonna get to where you need it. And it's gonna last. But if you keep cutting it bare, the minute it rains and you start running up and down on it, you're pushing it down.
But look, the field at certain times of the year, it will get used 7 days a week. It's difficult if a field's getting that much use.
Yeah, but if it's got grass on it, it's going to last you a little longer.
If
No, but that's reality.
Right.
That's the reality. Look, years ago, St. George's used to have the same problem. They used to cut it like it was a golf course. Then they started letting the grass grow a bit. And you see, even over the wicket, in the winter time, it gets a little, because you got so much clay there, but all around the field, it's grass. PHC the same. They let it grow. They don't cut it right to the bare burn. And they're on top of a marsh just like North Village. Yeah. Now, mind you, the difference is PHC don't train on that field.
Right. That's the big difference.
Yeah. I'm agreeing with you. But if you have more turf on the wicket, on the field, then it makes it that much more challenging to rip it off.
Yeah. So are you saying for a suggestion that perhaps some training lights should be installed outside the field would be a better solution?
To take the pressure off the field, yes.
Yeah. Something to.
Yeah. And tell you the truth, look at the grass on the outside of the field. They don't cut it right to the bare bottom. That grass is thick, and it lasts. There's guys out there kicking all summer, kicking all winter. You don't see a dead over there, do you? Because they don't cut it right to the bare bottom. They leave grass on the field.
So you're saying part of my list of keys to success for next year:
let the grass grow.
Evaluate groundskeeping.
Yeah. Let it grow. Then just trim the top. Watch the difference. Be a big
Right.
difference. Yeah. I see Punch is still trying to get in. He's having technical difficulties, but he's trying to get in. And again, we're going to be joined by Patches Dill and some of the North Village players in a few minutes. So if you had to grade the entire season, Griff, 1 through 10, where the teams finished in the league standings, you had how many pairs take a trophy down to the first division? Not the first team to do it, but give us your assessment, 1 through 10, the entire season.
Well, you asked some hard questions here because it requires more thought to do it justice. But
Are you still celebrating?
I think I wanted to give a good answer. I don't know. I think I can because you want to say like the season's finished, no major incidents, fans did well, players did well. Yeah, I would say an 8 or a 9, but it's difficult. How many players actually got better as the season progressed? What was the referees? Did we recruit and train more referees? I mean, it's other things that if you really step back and looked at it, that we should look at to determine if the season was a success. Because if we finished, we got all the games played, we crowned the champion, all the trophies were done, and the referees were disenchanted, and we lost half the referees. Then, can we call that a successful season?
Not really. Yeah.
I don't think so. No. So I guess I will be interested to see what is done as a post-mortem to grade the system. We played all the games. If half as many fans came to games as last year, is the season a success? I would say no. I look, why don't fans come out to games, and what's making them stay away, or is it the schedule uncertainty, or is it the timing of games? What can be done better so that fans enjoy it more? I think it's not an easy question to answer.
True.
But for myself, I enjoyed going to the games and seeing what I get most out of it. I think is the spirit of the communities that follow into the clubs and what goes into it. As long as the competition is respectful and we have fun, is good for the communities. But if it's past that, that's when it can be bad. But in general, it's good seeing that. It's like how we all enjoy cup match. Everybody picks some Citizen George's. Have banter for the whole summer or sometimes for the year. It's the same with your community clubs. Because everybody takes pride in their community and they want to support it. Some of the kids that grew up from when they're little kids to adults and they're now players, and some of the kids grew up in there. It's that community feeling. That's what I appreciate the most.
Sure. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to come back and be joined by Calvin Patches Dill and the property in which they won this season. We'll be right back.
Over the pink sands, beneath the clear blue sky, where the ocean meets the land, and the long caps fly in Bermuda. Our hearts belong to this beautiful island. As an island, we are strong, proudly Bermudian. In every single way, from the sunrise to the sunset, and every single day, for over 135 years, it's been clear. Pages silence, proudly Bermudian, bringing us near. Cause we are proudly Bermudian. Pages silence, proudly Bermudian. Pages silence, proudly Bermudian.
It's that time of year, the Ag Show is here, and no day at the show is complete without an RC Cola in hand. A refreshing crisp taste that's been a favorite for decades. Whether you're exploring the exhibits or making new memories with family, RC Cola is the perfect companion. Proudly distributed by John Barrett & Sons. Grab yours at Lindo's and taste the tradition. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
And welcome back. Well, Patches, congratulations. Got your silverware with you, right next to you. It's been one of those seasons, hasn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's been a wonderful season, to be honest, you guys, and it's been a joy to be back at North Village and bringing this silverware back to the club. You know, and we knew as far as last year, they was both taken away from them. You know, so it was a hard peel for the coaching staff and myself to get us through this year. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's been enjoyable.
Yeah, because one thing about amateur football or amateur sports in general, a lot plays on the emotion and the thoughts of people when something negative happens. When they get in that situation again, they can't stop thinking about it, and then you got to try and get them over that hurdle. So, you know, how did you manage to just convince players that last year was last year and we're on a different train this year?
Exactly, it was challenging. You know what I mean? But I had to let them know, like, hey, how many times you gonna be knocked out, man? You know what I mean? You're gonna have to stop getting knocked out. So you have to toughen up a little bit. You know what I mean? Stay committed to the course, and we could get across the problems that we had last year.
Right. FA Cup, one-shot deal. FA Cup final, you got one shot at it. What was your plan going into the game? Griff was talking about, you know, he expected a lot more, a faster paced game, a lot more technical game, but obviously you got to, it's almost like a chess match. You have to counteract what they're doing and they have to counteract what you're doing. So what was your plan going into the match?
Exactly. Well, we always have a plan to go and play our football. You know what I mean? We play our football and let the opposition adapt to us. Mm-hmm. You know, and you look at Cougars, they set up defensively, but they stayed deep. So when we got the goal, we said once we get the goal, if Douglas Steele said deep, we just stay in control of the ball, yeah, and wait for them, keep moving them, keep shifting them, and wait for the pockets to hook them so we could get behind them or split the lines and break lines and get forward to get more goals. But you had to be patient because they was not really coming at us too much. They was waiting for the off break to come at us.
So, Patches, we talked about it when we came on, when the penalty was awarded to Cougars. A lot of us, and again, I was getting biased, we were shocked that it was called. We were like, okay, done. So, but when it was missed, what was your reaction at that point?
That football don't lie. Yeah, let's be real. Football don't lie. You know what I mean? So that was faith. You know what I mean? And the penalty came from our negligence, playing the ball at the back, but we weren't crisp at it. And what happens? We passed the ball right into Shea's path. You know what I mean? He turned two people. He is falling, and I'm getting the penalty. You know what I mean? But again, you have to realize, and you can get into situations like that, how do you bounce back? Because that could have changed the game again. You know, so you have to stay patient in what you're gonna do. Don't lose confidence. Yeah, accept that they might have scored a goal. That means we have to change again and go back and get another goal.
Yeah. Let me ask you, Patrick, before Griff jumps back in. Halftime last season, you're in a comfortable position. What do you say to the players in St. George's camp? This time, you're up 1-0 in the change room at halftime. What do you say to the Village players this time around?
The game is not over. We're up 1-0. We're in control of the game. Stay where we are. Yeah, stay where we are. Now we're going to start the second half. It's 0-0. Yeah. Same thing I told you, St. George's. We're up 2-0. The game's not over yet. We're going to another half. It's 0-0. You know what I mean? So that they stay up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't get too cocky because you're up 1-0. A lot of football left. Like I always tell you guys, football is played in 90 minutes, 95 minutes.
Yeah.
So you have to play to the end.
True.
So
Griff?
back to, I was up in the top corner with all the diehards and the crazies. So when Village was up, everybody felt that one girl was not going to stand up because, as we said before, this Cougars has been in form in the second half of the season. They've been scoring a lot of goals, so we completely expected that they would at some point get a goal and it would change, but it never came. So did that surprise you that they never broke through?
Yes, in a sense, I know, because I got mine. You gotta come get yours.
Right.
Yes, and if you guys look at my Village's defensive record this season, it's been really good, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's been very good. So we know that on the defensive side, 1-0 up, we still have to stay tight. You still have to continue to win your battles. Yeah? Goalkeeper, you still have to make that crucial save for me. What got us? No, let's not give it away.
Yeah.
So
one of the things, one second, Griff. One of the things I noted some years ago with North Village when they were struggling for a regular goalkeeper. When Taj came, they won the league. Taj, was working and unavailable week in and week out. They struggle because you don't have a regular goalkeeper. Now D-Trey is there, and you've seen a difference. Having a creditable, good goalkeeper, does that make North Village football easier?
Yes. If you go back in the days of North Village always had good goalkeepers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So they've been successful. So you need somebody, because that's your last line of your defense.
Yes.
So you need somebody in there that could give the job at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
And it builds confidence within the people in front of him.
Right.
But again, you're going to make mistakes. You know what I mean? But if you feel comfortable making a mistake and you got somebody like DJ Bow behind you, you know what I mean? Now it's time for you to do this job. I made a mistake. Now you got my back, brother. You got my back.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's been a lot of success for North Village with having good goalkeepers.
Mm. Yeah, Griff.
So one thing that we discussed before you came on was, and I was surprised. I thought that maybe that Cougars would go at their point because we were missing Tarrant on the back end. Although his older, is a steady and influence in the team. I thought they would attack that missing link as much, but it seemed like we didn't miss him.
Again, I have a squad of 21 players. And I look at it, I have a position for everyone and a cover position for everyone. You know what I mean? So it was a little challenge at first. Me, Jamaica, couple of the players were talking about who's going to replace with for time. You know what I mean? And I have to give kudos to Trey Manders and Jalen Harvey. Was between one of them. And we guys came to the conclusion, okay, this is the situation. Let's give Jalen. Then we're thinking, okay, because Trey can all cover. If he had to cover Jalen, Jalen had to come off, but we also had him there. He could cover Trey. Me, you know what I mean. So we had players to cover players. So it was a toss up, but it was also an easy fix. So Tan, yes, has been a great part of our team, but he really wasn't a miss yesterday.
Yeah. I asked Griff because obviously, the season's over, and you're still reminiscing about this season. But obviously, as a coach, you also start looking at areas and where you need to clean up over the summer to look to defend what you've won and try to win more. What areas do you think you need to work on to strengthen that North Village outfit?
Well, I know for sure I'm gonna be losing Trey Mean. You know what I mean? But again, we have a player that could fit right into that team that's been around the team. But you also need some more wide players. We need some more wide players. Probably another center half, maybe. I might need a left back to cover the best left back in Bermuda Kimo. You know what I mean? But it's areas we could knock on and we could look at, but we're not gonna be hasty in doing it.
Right. Right.
So you have any more known retirements yet? This is when people consider whether they want to go out on a high.
Not as yet. Not as yet. Not as yet. I'm gonna give him a month or so. I'm gonna give him a couple of weeks, and then I'm gonna try to have a little meeting with him, find out exactly what's everybody's movements for next year before the deadline or the transfers, so we know who we have an idea of who is coming to us. You know what I mean? We have an idea, and these players that are welcome. You know what I mean? That they have some type of affiliation or have played for North Village before. You know what I mean? So we have an idea, but like I said again, we're gonna sit down. I'm gonna sit down with the hierarchy. We're gonna probably discuss this season, how it went, and what do we really need, and who do we really need? Because again, like I wasn't want to listen to you guys earlier. Like even I'm eyed up about 4 under 15s, maybe 5 of them.
That's what I want to ask you about.
Yeah, they played Saturday. I watched them Saturday, and I caught the second half of them Sunday. You know what I mean? These guys are 15. They played against 18s yesterday after playing when they Saturday. Right. You know what I mean? And I see some quality in a lot of these younger guys. So what I do now is talking to the coaches of these younger guys, as I have been all season, and just asking them, who you think? You know what I mean? And I pointed out a few of them. So like I said, I had a great opportunity to look at some of them on Saturday and Sunday. And like you said, a lot of them getting 16. I want them to start training with you guys when we get back to training.
Yeah.
So you think, because we talked about, like, say, Zadeo, Amir, Shaquem, Dayon, like all the younger players that came up and started getting premier games when they were 16, 17. So we were talking about that before. If you had any more diamonds that were ready to be unleashed on the Premier League.
Yes. We have a few. They might be not as tough as the ones you just called off, but yes, we have some diamonds. We have some diamonds in some of the positions that were talked about. Like I said, I'm looked at 2 center halves that we got. Yes. One of the young center midfielders. Yes. 2 guys, maybe 2 or 3 that play up front. You know what I mean? So, yes, we are looking at them. You know what I mean? And we're going to try to get them in around the more senior players, seasoned players, so they got a feel of it. And, you know, most of the time at them ages, you're trying to get these little kids out of here to get some more experience. But if they're going to be here, we're going to try to use them and get them back in because they are North Village.
Yeah. Hey, Patches, you probably laugh at this, but you know how a lot of people poach players, right? And throw a lot of stuff out there to get players. Is Patches available?
I'm going to answer you correctly. I am him, you guys. I am him. I'm at peace. You know what I mean? I'm him and I'm at peace.
Yes.
Hey, what if somebody offers you a bike?
That's material to me, my brother. That's material to me. When I'm him, I'm at peace. You understand? So yes, and I know it can be talk. You know what I mean? It can be talk. Sure. But no, you guys, I'm where my heart is. Where my passion came from, where my love came from. You know what I mean? And it's people that came before me. You know what I mean? That die hard with it, and I would love to keep them to see them happy. And if I could be a part of making their lives happy, then we as the coaching staff of North Village will continue to stay together and see how far we can go.
Sure.
Hey, so right now you're on a high. You're still probably smelling like champagne. What happens next year when you go through the tough times? How you rather that?
Hey, you gotta rather
them. But don't know.
So no, you have to come even more committed as a coaching staff, as players, because you know you got a target on your back. So you can't slip. That's why I say it's important that who we bring in, who's leaving, and who we bring in to keep the morale and the high going, so we don't drop our levels.
So what do you have? Because now everybody turns their attention after the FA Cup. The PDL will start. What's your plans for PDL over the summer?
Yes, we have a PDL team that's registered for the under 23s. You know, as some players that's coming back from school that's gonna be registered to play with us. You know what I mean? I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna be the head coach of that as yet. You know what I mean? Might take the under 18 coach and I'll just shadow him. We'll do it together and see what happens with how that looks and see who's leaving, who's staying. Again, who can we inject into the first team to give them some time? You know what I mean? Like we just done with the twins. You know what I mean? And just work as a family and a unit, and just like you said, just keep moving forward. Keep reading them, and keep moving them forward. If they have to go. So the ones that are going now, if they don't make it, they come back. They protect us for the ones that's got to go under them. Because that's what has been happening all our lives. I remember playing when Jamaica and them guys were in school. Right now, you tell them, I'm only playing once you guys are back in Bermuda.
Right.
My time's up. So every time they try to stop playing when they just got new, I tell them, hey, don't forget, we guys stayed till you guys were ready to come. You know what I mean? So that's what trying to hope that we could continue on influencing the players that are hurt to stay for the players that might be coming back.
So we talked about it a little bit when you came on, that most of the clubs are bigger than just football. The community clubs and everything that's involved in that, it's like family. So I'm gonna ask you now, put you on the spot. Are you releasing our goalkeeper so he could focus on cricket now?
Wow, he got a month. 2 months. He got 2 months. He's got 2 months. We'll be back at it. We'll be back at it in 2 months because we're gonna end up playing in the charity. And I don't know if that's gonna be the end of August, beginning of September. So I don't know. So I'm gonna give him 2 months. Give him 2 months off. We're gonna have a little couple of activities together as a team, so we stay throughout the summer. We can stay knitted at in some areas. You know what I mean? We just stay as a family and have some fun time together before we get back to business.
Yeah. Speaking of fun times, are you available for the motorcade on Friday?
Yes, but I also think the motorcade might be changed to Saturday.
Oh, Saturday?
Just listen out for it.
All right.
Yeah.
Because
I
think we want to implement the other teams, and I want to say congratulations to them coaches and them teams. For Village was in 4 finals this weekend, came out with 3 of them. They lost 1 on penalties, and then in the Kappa, we had a team that came out and won a trophy. So we're gonna try to incorporate the youngsters to give them a feel of it. You know what I mean? Take them for a little motorcade. But you know, we're definitely looking forward to it and letting the community. You know what I mean? This is for the community, not just for us.
Right. What we're gonna take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more with Calvin Patchett-Still, the North Village coach that won the league and the FA Challenge Cup. We'll be right back.
Over the pink sands, beneath the cloud blue sky, where the ocean meets the land, and the long tails fly in Bermuda. Our hearts belong to this beautiful island. As an island, we are strong, proudly Bermudian. In every single way, from the sunrise to the sunset, and every single day, for over 135 years, it's been clear. It's silence for League Bermuda, bringing us near. Cause we are proudly Bermudian. This silence proudly Bermudian. This silence proudly Bermudian.
New year, new Drop It. Lindo's is making it easier than ever to shop your way with our brand new Drop It website. Now with an upgraded online shopping experience, you can get your fresh groceries and convenient delivery with Drop It. Enjoy fast, reliable service wherever you are on the island. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
Business putting down the weapons.
You seen this?
And welcome back. Patches, I want to ask, after last season, you know, what happened in the East, and then you went back home. Did you envision what was possible for North Village once you got back there?
For one, I didn't expect to be in the situation I got in. I was thinking of this season coming up, probably being asked to take over as the head coach. But hey, whatever happened. I came in. I already had the experience down there at St. George's. You know what I mean? That gave me back the feeling for coaching again. You know, so it was just once I got back around the guys and kudos to Jamaica and Rai Simons. You know what I mean? They was already there, so it was easy for me to integrate to the players. You know what I mean? So it was like an easy transition for me.
Yeah. Most of the players would have known you from, you know, being around North Village, but some of the younger players, how you know, getting to know their ins and outs, because obviously when somebody new, well, you're not new, but somebody different comes around, you know, some people kind of stand off just a little bit to wait to see how they are accepted by this person.
Like I said again, it was easy for me to accept them because I know I've been playing for Village. I played against them a few times last year when I was at St. George's. You know what I mean? So I knew to talk to them, whatever, you know, and a couple of them was asking me, are you going to come back to Village anytime? And you know what I mean? I was telling them, be at sea. You know, so again, it was like easy just to come down there. Once I got a feel for them after probably 2 nights, we was talking and communicating with each other about the season and what could possibly happen and who's the players that's going to be playing and who's not going to be playing. And I just sit and relax, hang in. We're going to make it work. Just be cool. We're going to make it work. Yeah. You guys are good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. One of the things Griffin and I was talking about is the usage of the field come next season with the lights being implemented and so forth. So there's a possibility more matches being played on the surface through the week. How do you plan to work around a schedule to ensure that you have enough time on the training pitch, apart from having games at Bernard Park?
Well, again, I haven't had the feel for the whole season this year, so we got things in place that we want to keep that we had this year. You know what I mean? So we know what's gonna happen. So we have an idea going forward, you know, and what we was doing this year, guys enjoyed it. So we might just, you know, and definitely I know one of them we'll be back in the gym. We'll be back in the gym playing futsal and all that type of stuff there.
Right.
But one of the things we also discussed before you came, one of the keys for success for just in general all teams going forward is coaching continuity. So that said, you'll be back, but in the long term, like it's unreasonable to think that you'll be there for the next 10, 15 years. So is it part of the plan where, say, Jamaica, Rai, are they the ones to be groomed to come through to take over when your time is done?
Yes. You have to have a continuity plan. So as we go along, you have to say, okay, who could be the next guy to step in? You know what I mean? Jamaica is on my side right now, but who knows? He might not want to do it right. He's on my side right now. I know when I stopped coaching at junior football, I stopped because I said, right, he's back. He has gotten into coaching and was like, hey, these guys know you as the footballer. They don't know Patches as the footballer because they never watch me play. You know what I mean? So it's going to come to the point in time that the players that's coming, like you said, I don't expect to be here for 10 years, but if it happens, it happens. But you know what I mean? You have to have somebody in place to take over.
You taking your talents down to Sea Breeze for the summer. You're taking that what you have and down at Village to Sea Breeze.
Well, to be honest, they have a little bit of it. They have a little bit of it. Right. So they could be all right, but they'll be hearing my voice on the side. This is time to sit off, kick my feet up, lift my lawn chair, little barbecue.
And your voice match Perry Goodell's voice.
I don't know. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to watching my cricket team. You know what I mean? Right. Wishing them all the best as well. You know.
So you also got backing for next season from your assistant coach that you live with.
Yes, most definitely. Head
coach.
Most definitely. Yes. I'd like to thank my lovely wife, Shadi, for supporting me the whole way through. Yes, you know what I mean? Also my coaching staff, Jamaica, Rai, Tariq, Keela, April, Tashay, and Tanae. Appreciate them guys there. I couldn't have done it without them. You know what I mean? They made the job easier for me. You know, if I had problems with the players, they dealt with it. I didn't really have to deal with it, but we really had no problems like that. You know what I mean? All I had to do was come and coach. You know? So I just like to thank all the young guys and also our sponsor, you know what I mean? Auto Solutions. Yeah.
Well, I want to, with you thanking everybody, I want to thank Griff. I want to also thank Garrett Punchy Dill for joining us this season. The Island Stats Football Show has been one of delight all year to bring people such as you, Patches, and others on to talk about football. Weekly, we talk about different games, our picks, and all that, and we look forward to being bigger and better next season. And I want to wish you all the best come the 2025-2026 season, Patches. It's gonna be a tough order because you have trophies that you have to defend now, and when an axe is on your back, things become just a little bit more challenging. But I know you can handle it. It's just getting that message through to the players.
Yes, as long as they stay committed, we could do it. That's why I asked them today. You guys want to do this again? they just smile. They say, "Yeah, you want to do it again? Let's go do what you got to do now. Then it's time to come back. Let's come back with a strong 100% commitment, and we could go and enjoy the ride again." I tell them, what got targets. So you're gonna have to step up. You're gonna have to step up.
Sure.
So I just want to let you know that this football season produced two great champions. North Village Premier Team ever won 2 trophies, and me. I got the most right. I'm not like what
I muted folks. I muted them just for your because you didn't have to listen to that nonsense. So.
It's not easy.
And congratulations, North Village Masters.
It's not easy picking these games. Like what Earl and Punchy did was good. But what I did, that was real tough.
Well done, Griff. Well done. You came in. You came in and you tricked them.
Yeah. Hey, because no lie, his first week he wanted to stop doing it altogether. He got a full roll.
Gambling. Hey, good thing. My livelihood didn't depend on it. Hey, but I dog in. But you see, it's adversity. You gotta respond, Patrick.
He
That's right.
he changed his whole method, man.
I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention. Hey, you guys, it's a pleasure. It's a
Yes,
pleasure,
indeed.
man, talking to you
All right.
guys.
Yes,
We'll be
yes.
back.
Wow, this
Go
show
ahead.
here, I think this show here is wonderful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you guys give it the real. And sometimes it helps you as a coach
Yeah.
because you're learning about the other teams
Sure.
by not even by watching the game sometimes.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I
yes.
mean? So I appreciate you guys, man. And I'm looking forward to next season.
Sure.
Hopefully I'm doing this again at the
Well,
end.
definitely. You're always welcome. That's for sure. So,
Yeah.
folks, we'll be back when the Charity Shield kicks off for the start of the 2025-2026 football season with the Island Stats Football Show. We want to thank you very much for joining us, and we'll be back
Hail.
after the summer break. Thank you very
Hail.
much. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.